Welcome to Business Unmuted. In this edition, we're talking about the latest of the Sunday Times Best Places to Live publications. And this year, it's highlighted two places in the north of England that are very interesting. One is Masham in North Yorkshire and one is Barnard Castle. Joining me on the line is Rob Theakston from Black Sheep Brewery, of course based in Masham, he's director there. Martin Williamson, a director and residential property specialist at Darlington-based Solicitors, Latimer, Hinks, and Karl Pemberton, who's regional chair of the Institute Directors and runs Active Financial Planners, Chartered Financial Planners. First of all, I'm going to bring Rob in. It must have been nice to see your town, a very small and attractive town in North Yorkshire, Masham, mentioned in the best places to live. Have the Sunday Times got it right?
Yeah, I mean, it was quite a surprise, really. I mean, you know, small old Masham sat in the middle of the Yorkshire Dales is not something you would sort of instantly think of to be voted and sort of put forward for such accolades. I think it's, you know, when I was sort of thinking about this and what it means to, you know, what attracts people to live in Masham. You know, I think for me, being sort of 6 generations in one place is I'm a little bit biased, I suppose, on those sorts of things. But you know, there's a hell of a sense of community here in Masham. I could say the obvious things. We've got 2 breweries here, which is a really an amazing feature and a hell of an attractor for people to sort of come in and enjoy Masham, both for its scenery but also its beers. You know, but we're diverse. You know, we've got a great cricket club. We do a steam rally each year. We have a sheep fair. Masham's known for its sheep trade and wool trade over the years. We have a breed of sheep named the Masham. So it's a really diverse place to live.
Now, you paint a rural idyll, but it strikes me it's more than just a rural idyll. I know that North Yorkshire has had a big rollout of broadband, and you've got good broadband there. You're also very close to Harrogate, Leeds, to the south of you, Ripon, of course, and then to the north of you, Darlington and Tees Valley. Are those important effects for people who are wanting to work and maybe transit to work?
Yeah, I think the world's changed, hasn't it? You know, and it's evolved, and we've probably seen that more than ever through lockdown. You know, the ability to work from home has really kind of stepped forward, and that sort of almost unlocks these locations where before would have been prohibitive for people to live and work and operate. Commutes, you know, having to go down to Harrogate, Leeds, York, and even London, you know, are really, really obvious connectable things to do because the infrastructure's there. But equally, working from home and being able to sort of balance that makes it much more an accessible place to be. And as you say, from a broadband point of view, we've seen that improve massively. Although my children, when they're running 4 PlayStations and the various other bits, tell me otherwise. But you know, it is a heck of a lot better than it was. So you really can make that a practical solution in location where you choose to live.
By the way, I do like the fact you've got the whole town behind you there. You're at the brewery at the moment, are you, Rob?
Yeah, this is the view from my office, which is quite a nice.
Wow.
I literally sat on the outside of my office. Yeah, it's a perfect. It's a little bit noisy. The traffic's busy, but it's a lovely place to be.
And you'll be open, of course, for visitors in May, but you'll be rolling out the barrels literally in the next few weeks for pubs, won't you?
Yeah, we're looking forward to kind of pubs firing back up and people being able to kind of, you know, come back. We're quite excited about a sort of staycation summer. I mean, we are a tourist destination. You know, here at the brewery we get, you know, 40, 50, 60,000 people a year in visitors terms. You know, that brings everything into Masham in terms of, you know, the spin out trade and the other businesses that sort of exist in Masham. So, you know, we just can't wait to kind of get back to some semblance of normal after the challenging year that everybody's faced.
Okay, we've got the source material there, Rob. Thanks very much. Let's go to Karl Pemberton. Karl, now you are chairman of the Institute Directors, which in your patch has members in North Yorkshire, Teesside and Durham. What do you think about this Sunday Times acknowledgement of some of the nice places in our patch to live?
Yeah, I think it's always nice to be recognised. I think previously we've had the likes of Whitby and Saltburn, places certainly closer to Teesside than Masham and Barnard Castle. But it is nice that there are more rural areas being recognised this time. As Rob said, I think the pandemic of the last 12 months has really made people think about where they live and, a slower pace of life that we're all striving for, or we prove we can still live within one, hopefully the rural destinations will benefit. And as you say, hopefully in the coming years, there's going to be an influx of jobs which will bring people to the area. So they're going to be looking for great places to live. And hopefully it will create more jobs for local people who, with aspiration, may also be, looking for other places to live and looking to move as well. So it's great to be recognised, and there's some fabulous places around that don't make the list as well, which we'll keep as a secret for the people that know them.
All right, let's talk to Martin Williamson. Let's talk some pounds, shillings and pence on this. You're doing property transactions all the time. You're one of the top conveyancing lawyers in this area. What is your experience of Barnard Castle and Masham and the other rural areas? Is property on an uplift?
Sure, yeah. We've always known, just as Karl and Rob has said, that these are great places to live. This is just, if you like, national recognition of that. Harrogate has for years been a property hotspot, and Masham indeed as well. I deal with a lot of transactions in the Masham, Ripon and surrounding Dales area. And there's always been a great demand for property. And that's just going to be nothing but reinforced over the coming months for all the reasons that have been discussed. It is having an impact on property values, prices. I think working out just yet exactly what that impact is difficult to say, because I think there is a case of, strangely enough, some people are perhaps holding back on accepting offers, holding back on proceeding until they see that the market perhaps will have risen some more than it has already. There is more of an impact. They'll want to see that. As far as Barnard Castle goes, Barnard Castle and Teesdale and Upper Teesdale are a bit of a secret. Everybody's heard nationally of the Yorkshire Dales. They've got a reputation. They're on television all the time. They're a go-to location. Teesdale's a little bit more unknown, a little bit more of a hidden gem. Obviously, it got a bit of publicity last year from a certain source. And I know that when I mention the name of Barnard Castle to people who are outside the area, there's recognition there that there wasn't there before.
And are you seeing more pace of inquiries and transactions in Barnard Castle?
Absolutely, definitely. Yeah.
Is this effect also having a ripple effect backwards into Teesside? I know I was talking to someone, a member of my staff, who was gazumped over a house in Redcar. So property seems to be alive in all areas.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think the whole of the Tees Valley is sort of holding its breath now a little bit. All of these announcements from the government about jobs coming to Darlington, the Freeport status in Teesside, there's a definite, palpable sense of optimism about what the future is going to be.
I suppose the one other thing is that if property is this hot, property values will go up. Now, if you own a property, particularly in Teesside, that is helpful to you because you have a more tangible asset.
Sure.
But it is very difficult for first-time buyers to buy in a lovely place like Masham. Rob, do you have members of staff who would like to live there but can't, or have you managed to? Is everyone able to get on the ladder?
No, I think that is a problem. I mean, Masham itself, there's a number of schemes in place, and they're looking at these brownfield sites, trying to look at areas within Masham that they could develop housing. We don't have a lot of space in order to do that. I mean, it sounds strange, but in terms of development opportunity, there's not a lot, and I think it is quite tricky for people to kind of get on the ladder. I mean, I had that effect when I sort of was looking for my first property. I ended up having to buy in Ripon, and then from Ripon, I then moved back into Masham when I'd sort of started on the property ladder and kind of got going, because you look, and I think that supply and demand is critical. You look at some of the properties available in Masham even now, and there's quite a few available, but they are, for a sort of two bed house, you're looking at north of 300,000, which is getting into the top end for a first time buyer. So it is a challenge. I mean, in terms of our staff, they're far and wide. We have guys that come down from Sunderland. We have people in Bedale, we have people all over, but they are quite spread. But there is a core that do live in Masham, but they tend to have been people that have lived here for quite some time, and certainly not first-time buyers. So it is a challenge for us.
Well, look, gentlemen, thank you for joining us. It's a nice thing to have such recognition for our area and the uplift in Teesside as well, and a good thing to celebrate over the Easter period.